Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the weekly Super Metroid race on Speed Gaming 4. Today, I am super excited. We have the reverse boss order category, and with me tonight is Black Elite John. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing great. And you, Tracy?
I am spectacular. A little bit of RBO, one of the most difficult categories out there, but we've got the lineup to do it, so super excited. Right now, we have in the upper left Scotty Morphball, also known as Scotty McBody. On the upper right, we have Elminster RTA. On the lower left, we have Farrell, and on the lower right, we have Punk, all very accomplished RBO runners.
Yeah. Also, just the fact that Punk, if I remember, has the world record for the two Norfair visit route. So we will see with Punk's a really great quality run from that guy.
Yeah, and Punk also has the world record in the so-called RBMBO, where we actually start with Mother Brain and go through all the mini bosses. Here, it's a little bit of a misnomer with reverse boss order, since we can't start with Mother Brain without doing some glitches, mostly using some X-ray scope shenanigans. So they'll actually start with Ridley, and then they'll make their way through Dragon to Bantoon, and then finally Kraid.
Yep. Just that fact that RBO, like you said, is a really hard category, mainly because you have no suit when doing the entirety of Norfair. So all those heated rooms will drain your health, and just to say, Ridley rooms is also a heated room. So that fight is on a timers. You need to be quick and efficient, or else you will die. So you might see some death.
Yeah, we'll see if these guys take any safety saves. I kind of hope in this category, it's such a dangerous category, I hope they do.
Me too.
It's a race and not a personal best attempt.
Oh yeah, for RBO, I always suggest in a race setting, save. It's really important to save in a race setting with RBO, since it's really a hardcore category when it comes to the lower Norfairers.
Yeah, it's also kind of fun. We have two of our runners, Ponk and Farrell, have two of the most infamous RBO runs. Ponk doing one where he went to Kraid first.
the
Farrell,
reverse bus order.
And Farrell, who almost skipped Kraid, except that the G4 won't let you go down when that happens.
Yeah.
So we'll see what goes on here. One of the things about this category is the two hardest categories, in my opinion, are the reverse boss order and the low percent categories. A low percent category is more of a category of a little bit of extra patience and is especially hard at the end. Reverse boss order kind of gets easier as you go along. So the hardest part is going to be at the beginning, because they're, like John said, they're not going to have suits. They're going to go through Norfair and lower Norfair, and then they're going to do Meridia again without suits, which is more of a slow thing, but is less of a dangerous thing. Although those Meridia enemies can hit really hard when you don't have suits.
But at least Meridia is more forgiving in mistake than a lower Norfair, since you don't take constant damage.
Exactly. But once they get past Meridia, it's just a bit of a boss rush to the end.
True. Also, you will see that I don't think any of those runners will take a single suit. Since in the category, the suit will be pretty much useless. The only suit you can take, which is still slow to take it, if you want to be safe, will be Varia suit, since it's pretty quick compared to Gravity to take. Since Gravity only use is for Meridia to be fast, and since they already clear Meridia without Gravity suit, you really don't need that 30-second cutscene and all that way. So, since Varia is pretty close, that's the only suit you will take if you want safety in the RBO, but with those runners, you won't see any suit at all.
No, the gravity suit, not only the cutscene, but just the entirety of having to go all the way up the wreck ship, just takes too long. They probably won't take the Varia suit either, because most of them will probably want to do stand-up glitch, in which case you're going to take the Varia suit off anyway. So there's not going to be a need for those by the end. But as we can see, the beginning of the game is just like every other category you see. They did Ceres, they went and got their Morph Ball and their early missiles. Now they're going to head over to Bomb Chorizo. And there's a lot of different orders you can do RBO. Shiny Zenny, who's not here and actually has the RBO world record, actually does a very nice one one visit to Norfair where he does the moon dance. I don't foresee
Oh,
any of these runners do that.
interesting from Scotty going down just to take that E-tanks in the Retro Brinstar already.
Yeah.
So he went up to activate Zebes to be able to return and be able to take that E-tanks in the ceiling with the deboost from the Rio and probably taking also the missiles.
Yeah, this is the old randomizer strat that we've seen in the randomizer races and in the tournament. Having a little trouble with it.
Yeah.
Elm the first to get his bombs. Oh no, Farrell was the first, and then Elm, and then Punk shortly thereafter. And Scotty gets his E-tank.
Yeah. Scotty, what he's doing might seem easy, but it's not totally that easy. You need to get it at the right spot so you get the boost in the right position to get that E-tank. So Farrell already finishing his BD fight, seems to have a really good fight. Now the turn to Punk and Elminster finishing approximately at the same times.
Yeah, and we'll also see if any of them choose to get anything early in Meridia. Sometimes runners will do that in this category. They'll go get some of the stuff in Meridia, do a little bit of suitless before they head down to suitless lower Norfair.
There's a lot of safety you can take with RPO. Even if it's a really hard category, you still can take it pretty safely compared to a low percent, which you're forced to do it with a minimal amounts. So, and plus having saves, you can take extra E-tanks, extra missile, extra power bombs, extra super missile to be really safe, to have more lenience of when you can do your crystal flash and more energy to be sure you can survive your way up to the place you need to do your crystal flash and hulls.
Well, and that brings up a good point. These guys are going to pick up a whole lot of extra ammo because every time they crystal flash, they're going to need 10 missiles, 10 supers, and 11 power bombs. One to lay the bomb, and the other 10 will go ahead and be used up. And they're going to have to do that in very specific times down there in Lower Norfair.
Yeah, the crystal flash, crystal flash, it will need to do in Lower Norfair pretty much set in stone where you need to do it. If you do it too early, it might rip your rounds, which means you could die, since Lower Norfair is really a dangerous place. You don't want to deal it too much. You don't want to do it too early. I mean, when you want to do those crystal flash. That's why having more ammo can be helpful in case you really need to do those early crystal flash.
And also noting that in Lower Norfair, it's often really hard to get missile drops. A lot of those enemies will drop supers, they'll drop health, they'll drop power bombs, but a lot less so regular missiles. So having all those extra missiles is going to help out.
Indeed. That's the definite thing with Lower Norfair. Missiles are rare drop there compared to the power on super missile, which is normally the rare drop you will get elsewhere in the games.
Yeah, and it looks like Scotty's going to get the Gauntlet E-tank as well as an extra safety. That's actually a really tough thing to do with one tank and no suits, but I suspect he'll be able to do that.
I think Scotty do the moon falls for, the moon dance for RBO.
Well, he does it for Hundo, so it wouldn't surprise me if he'll do it here too.
Yeah, pretty sure you will go for it.
Everybody else going for getting their charge beam. Pretty good sync on the other three, so it's nice to see a little bit of route divergence.
It's always fun to see route divergence. So you see all of the other runners will be going into Green Brinstar up to Red Towers, and once they will go up to Red Towers, they will go up to get that power bombs, if I remember correctly.
They can go up to get the power bomb. They're also all going to get grapple beams, so they might just get the grapple power bombs as their first set.
They're going down. I'm much more used with the Cine's RPO.
Yeah.
you don't want to go up. Before you found the moon dance, they were always going up.
Yeah, the whole nice thing about the moon dance is he's able to get power bombs over at Edecoons. So he gets them pretty early. We'll see if that's what Scotty goes ahead and does. Elm and Punk doing a little bit of farming in the depths of Meridia. They want to get those reserve tanks filled up. Their first hell run coming up is going to be 2 tanks and 1 reserve, and pretty much you need to, while it is possible with a few lucky drops to get through that first hell run through the cathedral area with only 2 E-tanks. I've only actually seen it done once.
2 tanks and 1 reserve?
No, 2 tanks and no reserve.
No reserve?
I've seen it done once, but it takes a lot of lucky drops, so yeah, you can't count on that RNG, especially in a race.
No, you really don't want to count RNG in a race.
For all doing that same farming?
The 2 Norfair visit, they will do a really hard L runs, which is the first L rounds you see in this route is one of the most dangerous, since you have very few energy compared to the 1 Norfair visit.
Exactly. So, in some ways, these are harder because your energy is so low and you don't yet have the crystal flash energy or crystal flash ammo, which makes it also a little bit different than when you see a typical randomizer race and have to go through those kind of hell runs, because the game in a randomizer is gonna make sure you have at least 4 E-tanks available to you before you do that hell run. And there we go. They're taking saves. Good. And Punk's starting his hell run. Elm right behind him. Pharaoh will be shortly after that. The room that gets you on this one really is the very last one. I mean, you wouldn't think so because it's more of a linear room. But this Rising Tide room that Punk just entered with Elm just behind him, it's deceptively difficult.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to have to pop that reserve tank. And they want to pop it manually because the way the iframes work, you won't get all of your energy.
The thing is that
manually.
The thing is that each damage in your iframe. So when you are in a reserve, which heals you at a certain rate, you still take each damage. That's why you want to manually reserve, use reserve manually, so you can take all the health from your reserve and consume without taking a single point of damage while it refills you. That's mainly why. Each damage is pretty weird. Everything is frozen, but you still take damage. It's the same thing with when you're in elevators, or when they Ridley take you. You still take each damage, but since it's frozen, reserve don't kicks in those times. That's why also reserve is really important in a reverse bar sorter.
Elm with a little bit of a lead. Speed Booster Room still has heat damage. It's kind of annoying. The Wave Beam Room will not when they get there. And there goes Scotty with the Moon Dance. Which will basically get him to the point where he'll be able to... Ooh, he needs to go the other way. Not sure what happened there.
I think you do a wrong input, because in Canada Pants, with wrong inputs, you will be put in a wrong position like he did, and you will need to restart everything. It's at least when it's early on in your moon dance attempt, it's not that penalizing. But when it's pretty late, you're like you need to redo all the moonfalls, which you don't really like. And what Scott is doing will pretty much be helpful, since you will be able to skip. If you do the 1 Norfair visit, we'll be able to skip the red towers power bombs up above. Normally, you take it to go to the ATQs. We'll have, if you do the 2 Norfair visit, you will get at least 1 more E-tanks and 1 more super pack and 1 more power on pack for the Norfairs.
Actually, I expect him to do just a 1 Norfair visit if he's doing this. Taking this much time to do Moon Dance doesn't make sense unless you're going to just do the 1 Norfair visit.
Yeah, and the Moon Dance don't save. It will lose time if you do the 2 Norfair visit, but we'll save. Optimally, it saves, I think, 1 minute in a 1 Norfair visit. So even if you mess up a little of your Moon Dance, like Scotty did, it's still a time save, especially since he did mess up very early on, so it's not that much of a time loss. It's still saving quite a bit of times.
And let's see. Elm surviving the double chamber room. Punch looks like he's about to get through it. A little close. Feral entering in. This is in also one of the worst rooms. Getting through that wave beam entry room, just there's so many things that can go wrong. You just fall down one of those little riser thingies, and you're pretty much dead. You just don't have the time to recover.
Yeah. Double chamber and single chamber are both really dangerous, especially double chamber, since double chamber I always finds it to be the worst room in the games. How awkward it is to move in that rooms.
It is definitely the run killer of many RBO PB attempt.
Oh, true.
Let's see if Feral can make his way out quickly. There he goes. Nice little wall jump. And there he goes. He's out. So everybody survives the double chamber. Excellent. Next, our runners will go down to Crocomire. This way they can get one more E-Tank, and they can also get the grapple beam that they'll need both for farming in Lower Norfair and to get through Meridia without gravity suit.
Chairman, just to say, Scotty was doing what we call moon dance, which is doing a lot of moonfalls in a certain block. So you buffer your fall speed to be able to get enough. When you have enough fall speed, you will clip through the block, then do some turnarounds to shimmy out, then go toward the power bombs block to then clip through them while doing another moonfalls there. So you can take all the items there pretty much early on. And the reason why you can do it is because there's power bombs there to exit, so we can take the power bombs early here.
Yeah, it allows them to get the rest of the Brinstar cleanup except for the E-Tank at Waterway. So that means he'll have more E-Tanks when he gets into Norfair, will allow him to only go into Norfair just the one time instead of the twice that everybody else will be doing.
Just to see that the person who finds the moon dance, his name is Nick, he's an excellent tasser, by the way. Shout out to Snake for the moon dance.
Elm and Punk both with nice sparks over to the early power bombs at the grapple beam power bombs. I like Toasty's questions in chat. Who finds this stuff in any video games? And you know, there are times that I wonder. When we get to the Dragon fight, I'll point one out in particular that I don't know how anyone came up with, but they did. It's quite impressive, the things that people come up with in not just this game, but just in video games in general.
It's always funny how people find those new kind of glitch in video games. So as you can see, Scotty is now cleaning up Brinstar in its entirety, except for Waterway, like Tracy said, since no speed booster to get the items there. Now we can see Punk and Elminster farming after taking the grapple beams to be sure they have enough L to survive the next L round to exit Norfair. Since now they're pretty much done with Norfair for the moment, they will go outside of Norfair and clean up the rest of the games they need to clean to have all the required items to survive Lower Norfair L rounds and the Ridley fight. Since like I said earlier, Ridley's rooms is also E and E-Ted rooms, so you need quite a bunch of E-Tanks to survive that fight.
You need enough E-Tanks to survive. You also need enough ammo to do a couple of crystal flashes. It's actually pretty interesting the way Lower Norfair is laid out. It's actually laid out pretty much perfectly. The fact that the Firefly area is the one area that doesn't need heat damage and that there's an E-Tank that they use to refill. The fact there's an E-Tank behind Ridley. The fact there's an E-Tank in the screw attack area. It's like the game expected somebody to come back and try and do lower Norfair without suits.
Yeah, true. But there's no E-tank where there's screw attack. There's a
refill though.
There's a refill though, which is really good. And the refills, by the way, the same thing for the save rooms, are not heated rooms. So it's really convenient that those rooms are not heated. Same thing for the Firefly E-tanks. That room is also not heated. It's all of Norfair is really convenient for this ones, like you said.
And plus, one of my favorite things is when they do their first crystal flash in lower Norfair, watch the effect. We haven't gotten there yet, so I'm not going to spoil it, but it's pretty darn cool, I think.
Yeah. So as you can see, Elminster and Ferrell's not outside of Lower Norfair. Punk's already in Green Brinstar, really for cleaning up practically everything in Green Brinstar. Will take Waterways E-tank, will take Itiku's E-tank, Super Messiahs, will take also the E-tanks in Metroid Brinstars. We will clean a good portion of the game's criteria in Brinstars. So.
Yeah,
I think with the two Norfair visit, they also take gauntlets E-tanks in the two Norfair visit.
Yeah, we'll see how many of the E-tanks they do pick up. Plus, again, they want to get enough ammo in general to be able to do crystal flashes they need to do. So it's a good question when Sky meets up with the others. Optimally done with the Moon Dance, it's actually a little bit faster. But typically in the Moon Dance strat, you're not going to get the... Well, Zenny has a strat to get that first E-tank, but it's not the same one that Scotty uses. Plus, he doesn't usually get the...
It's triple frame perfect plus 50% chance to get it because of collision oscillator.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised Scotty went up Red Tower to get that power bombs. Getting it if you Moon Dance and you get that power bombs up above, you're losing time. So I'm really surprised he didn't went for the power bombs instead of the Moon Dance, since he's taking the power bombs up above. Or pretty sure he did the Moon Dance because he loved that Moon Dance. If he did that.
But in general, Scotty is going to be a little bit behind, I suspect. They'll probably meet up somewhere when they get to Meridia. The route once you get to Meridia is fairly straightforward, because there's no longer the need to get all those extra E-tanks. You've already got them. No longer the need to get all that extra ammo for crystal flashes, since that's already done. And as I said earlier, once you get past Dragon, it's just a boss rush to the end of the game. So you'll see Scotty will have a much easier time with these early Upper Norfair hub runs because he's got 6 E-tanks in a reserve already.
Also, I should say, even with one Norfair visit, there's still some extra safety you can take. Even if you do not like, even if the routes seem to be really hardcore compared to the two Norfair visit and seem to have no safety, there's still some safety you can take. There's still some extra ammo you can take, and even an extra reserve tanks for having some extra energy just for lower Norfair if you don't feel totally safe to do it with one reserve.
And Ponk saying he should have gotten Gauntlet. Oh well, you could go back, Ponk, you know.
True, he can always come back. Now you see Scotty doing his first all round, which will be a lot easier than what Pearl, Punk, and Elminster did. With all the things that he can take some hit, he can do some mistake. It's not as dangerous as the two Norfair visits, since it has a lot more energy. Not even needed to take his reserve, as you can see.
Still a difficult run, as you can see. He's down to 160 energy at this point.
Oh yeah, it's still a very dangerous elf round still. Just out the room. It's because of the rising lava tides. That room's also pretty much be awkward for RBU while you want to do it. So.
That room is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I've never done RBO myself. I love watching it. But I've done the hell runs in the randomizer seeds, and let me tell you, that's the one that gets me. And yeah, of course, it's one you're gonna die in because it's the last one you go through. But I'll tell you, you get through the first two, you're doing great. You have plenty of energy, with the last one just gets you.
Oh yeah, it's when you're doing that room without a various suit or gravity suit that you know how bad this room is.
And Farrell doing my favorite Shine Spark. He got the wraparound shot. He goes all the way through Gauntlet.
Oh, Farrell's attempting the Sex Master Spark. Ah, I didn't miss it.
No.
It's a really hard spark. That one. Really hard. So if somebody don't get that spark, it's really normal. It's one of the hardest spark to do. I think it is the hardest one.
I don't know. There's plenty that I can't do, and I can do that one. So I don't know if I call that the hardest. Punk not getting the Mission Impossible strat, which is more swag than time saving anyway.
Yep, you do still save time doing this spark, but normally you attempt it for the swag.
Punk also getting the backdoor Spore Spawn missile.
As you can see, Scotty has used only missiles to open his red door because he wants to save his super missiles since he only has them to be sure if he needs he can crystal flash. Since you need a minimum of 10 super missiles, 10 missiles, and 11 power bombs, like Tracy said earlier, to be able to crystal flash.
Yeah, he's got the ammo to do it, and like I said, that double chamber room can go very wrong very quickly. So he's got that extra safety for it.
Yeah, at least with one Norfair visit, you can crystal flash, unlike the 2 Norfair visit, to save to save yourself. And all the extra energy also is really helpful. Oh, Scotty going to take the Norfair Razor before taking wave beams. Interesting route choice there.
Yep, and Toasty's right. Yeah, the other 3 are collecting all the items that Scotty's already gotten from doing the Moon Dance.
True. We can't really say for now in the rush. Scotty is doing the 1 Norfair visit, so far he's already done all the cleaning he need to do. The route he's doing is faster than the route that the 3 others are doing, but depending on your skill levels, even if you're doing the 1 Norfair visit route, you might be slower than somebody with a 2 Norfair visit route. It's all depending on the skill level, so yeah, we can't say early on like that who is ahead right now, because everything will be played with mainly with lower Norfairs. It's the hardest L runs in the games.
And Scotty didn't do it the most optimal way, because one, he picked up the Gauntlet E-Tank, which often is not picked up in that route.
Yep.
And he had to take a little bit of time to get the Blue Brinstar E-Tank, the one in the ceiling. He took a few extra debuffs to get that, so he lost a little bit of time there.
Yeah, and he did Moon Dance while taking red tower taking red tower power bombs. When you do Moon Dance, normally you don't take red tower power bombs also. So all those time can play against him to be in the lead. And even Scotty's saying he's taking all the backups he can, so he might be way behind than he's normally is.
Yeah, he still has to go to Croc too, so. Whereas Punk looks like he's going to be the first one down to lower Norfair. Mainly because he skipped that Gauntlet E-Tank. I know Farrell went and picked it up. Did you see if Elm picked it up?
Gauntlet E-Tank?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see if Punks or Elm did pick it up.
Punk, I know Punk didn't because he said so in chat.
I was more watching Scotty and Feral, so now Punk's already returning in Norfairs, thinking the Norfair shortcut was way faster, and the L rounds there is really short, so it's pretty much non-existent, so pretty much safe. And also taking a safety save here.
Yeah, well, he's got a good. Yeah, doing a safety save before he does his lava dive, I think, is a really smart thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing he's gonna do.
Since lava dive without an issue would be really dangerous. You do one single mistake and you're dead. You can't do a single mistake in RPU while doing lava dive compared to a GT Classic.
Or a randomizer where
yes,
you
also
often have better protection, especially if you have barrier suit. I don't think, and then Pop didn't pick up Ice Beam either, so that's kind of interesting.
True, he did. No, I think he only equipped Ice Beam.
No, the door was green.
No, he didn't take Ice Beam.
No, he didn't pick up Ice Beam or Spazer, which is...
I think the two Norfair visit take Ice Beam after Lower Norfair for Marizia.
Yeah, he's going to certainly pick it up. The main reason to pick up Ice Beam and Spazer is to make that Ridley fight easier.
That's if
rely on those supers, I think. And
yeah, but
I suspect us to rely on supers and X factors.
The reason why you will take an Ice Beam and Spacer for that fight is when you don't have as much missile or super missiles, because those one Norfair visit also don't think, if I remember correctly, Spacer and Ice for the Ridley fight, because he's using missiles and super missiles instead. While Zinni, since he only has 15 missiles, he needs Spacer and he needs Ice Beam for the damage output.
And Punk resetting. He had a little bit of trouble with that lava dive, so he's just going to reset it. That's going to give Feral and Elm a chance to catch up. I expect Punk to get one more one more super missile pack. Typically, runners look at the supers at GT, so they'll actually go ahead and fight GT. We'll see if Punk does that or not.
Yeah, since you're thinking super attack and GT is right there, if you need one extra super pack, like you said, Tracy, runners will take the GT super pack. And also, just to say, the GT fight is also a heated room, so you're also on a timer on that fight.
Yeah, the only non-heated rooms in Lower Norfair are the save station, the refill station, and the fire fleet area. Everything else is deadly with the heat.
Oh, indeed. And we see Elmesser in Marizia. He's taking a lot of safety, I think, for this race. I don't know if normally he do take those safety. I never really saw Herbie run from Elmesser, so I can't say if he normally do that or is only doing it for the safety of the race.
Yeah, that's a good question. But he'll get an extra super pack here, and he's able to get the Mama Turtle E-Tank.
As you can see, Scotty has his turn fighting Crocomire, since in this category, having Grapple Beams is really important. Because you want to take the less heat damage as you can while going to do Lava Dive. So going by not a lot of refills, taking the refill and then using Grapple to cross the rooms is what will save you the most health. It's not what is the fastest, but what will save you the most health. As a reminder, RPO is more about saving health than being fast. You want to save health first, then being fast.
And Feral did a very nice first try Lava Dive. Punk getting it on the second try. So as you can see, he's already done his first Crystal Flash, and you can see the way, like I said, hopefully you're watching that. Well, Feral will do one in a second, so you'll be able to see it. But you see the background. Watch that background when Feral does his first Crystal Flash. He's going to wait for it. You can do it right now. And just look at the way that flashes. I just think that's so cool. It just tells me that they expected people to come down here without a suit.
Yeah. As you can see, even while doing Crystal Flash, you're still taking that 8 damage. And as you can see, while Ferals was same for Punk, when they go down the elevator, you still hear the little sound of taking heat damage, but the elf was not diminishing. It's only updated when you hit down the elevators. That's why the reserve can be important, because especially when the one Norfair visit, if you have the elf to do it after the lava dive and your reserve didn't kick in, so often in 2 Norfair visit when the reserve down kicks in, as you can see, the reserve will kick automatically after the elevator if you are on low health, because you won't die. You will be at 0 HP after you have control Samus after the elevator. That's why the reserve is really important. And the same situation also happens with Ridley when he's grabbing you. So you want to get grabbed by Ridley, so you still take 8 damage, but you will get at 0 HP, but Razor will kick in after.
Right, neck and neck, picking up those super missiles right before GT.
A really close race from the both of them.
2 of the best in the world at this, going at it. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Feral's gonna need to pick up some of those energy drops.
Oh, Feral's this reserve kick-ins during the GT fight, which is really not a good thing to happen. So.
Fortunately, he's got that grapple beam. He can farm up these little eggs until he gets to a little more comfortable. But he's gonna have to do that for a little while here.
Which will slow down a lot of this fight. I think it would be better to maybe reset.
Oh, well, yeah, it's faster to just die. I think he took a safety save at the top of the elevator. Unfortunately, that's going to give Punk quite the lead.
Yeah, he did take a safety save before going to Low Norfair, which is a wise decision. As you can see, everything can go wrong in Low Norfair pretty quickly and easily.
Yeah, and he says he forgot to heal, so probably forgot to take that nice free refill there at the screw attack area. That would do it.
Yeah, that explains a lot. Then this reserve kicks in and die that quickly for getting 2 heals. You might not be used to do RBOs.
Punk, in the meantime, gets his fast pillars very nicely done, and he'll go into the worst room of the game, which can live up to its name in this category. Fortunately, the runners do have screw attack. There's very good reason to get screw attack here.
Oh yeah, it makes the entire Low Norfair very safe, and you can just screw your enemies pretty much easy since they do 2000 damage per frames. You really need a screw attack.
On the other hand, the amphitheater area is a very scary one because without gravity suit, if you get hit by that acid, you're done. There's no getting out of it because you can't move through it very quickly at all.
Oh yeah.
Punk has no trouble going through that. Now, if he just gets the Firefly room, gets the E-tank there, he'll be good to go. Meanwhile, Feral is farming up as many of those rippers as he can for super missiles. They're pretty much a guaranteed super missile drop, so it's a good place to get super missiles.
Yep.
Let's see if he remembers to go back and get the refill this time.
It's the same thing for the Fireflies. It's a guaranteed drop of power bombs, which is also a good place to refill your power bombs. Same thing before Ridley, there's Violas there, little blue orbs, who also have a guaranteed drop of power bombs.
Meanwhile, Elminster doing a nice first try lava dive there. Looks like he'll have to Crystal Flash, though, before he gets into Lower Norfair. It's, I guess, potentially unfortunate, but he's got an extra E-tank compared to the others, so he should be okay. One extra E-tank compared to Punk.
Not saving before going downs. Taking it risky from Elm.
It is risky. Well, let's hope he remembers to grab that energy refill at Screw Attack.
Compared to other categories, he can do. Oops, I forgot to put the say. I will go up. Once you go down, you're a commit. There's no way back. All because of that heat damage.
And a much better GT fight from Feral there.
Oh, a nice gun try from Elms.
It's a much easier when you have that extra energy from the refill.
Oh yes, indeed. That's so, and also don't forget that refills.
Punk doing quick work with the space pirates. What he's gonna do now, he's gonna go into the area with the Ghidorah before Ridley. He's gonna do one more crystal flash before he goes in there, and then he'll go in there shortly after that. He'll do a little bit of extra farming. He needs to get up to. He's got full super, so that's good. He's gonna do one more crystal flash before he goes into Ridley.
Yep. It's really important you want to get fulls on supers, opening the gather and then doing a crystal flash. You want to be as full as you can before doing the crystal flash. You have the less amount of farming you need to do to be at full against to fight Ridley, since you want to kill Ridley as quick as you can because you don't want to die like I said earlier. So you are on a timers in that fight. You need to be quick and efficient.
And letting his reserve go. Setting up. There's the crystal flash. And he's gonna head down for his Ridley fight. Farm up a little bit beforehand. The nice thing with this grapple beam is it does allow you to farm up quick enough that you don't lose too much energy. If you do it really well, you can actually do it without losing any energy.
Grapple beam is really the greatest tool to farm.
Yeah, he's gonna get those supers all the way up. He's got his full supers now, and he's gonna go in. Especially considering his beam combo, he wants to hit with all 25 of those supers.
And what you want is that Ridley will behave correctly, so a little bless energy from for punks, because Ridley when he wants, he can be a real jerk.
Ridley's always a jerk. But two nice X factors to start off with. Those will do when they hit all 4 hits. Since each particle is 300 damage, they'll hit with a total of 1,200 each.
But I think one of his X factor really stays block one of the particles, so still pretty great damage. If only one was blocked.
That was an absolutely beautiful Ridley fight from Punk there.
Oh yeah.
See if you
Nicely
can get
done, Punk.
Drops before the reserve tank gets picked. Oh yeah. Looks like he's gonna use up that reserve. Oh, just
yeah.
Reserve
just barely. And as you can see, when the Israel poppins, he was not full health. He's still taking some damage from the heat.
But he's going to do one more crystal flash on his way out, so he's going to take up some supers in order. Meanwhile, Farrell doing a nice job with his amphitheater. And Elm is actually taking a bit of a lead here. From Farrell here, so it's some interesting race between those two coming up.
True, and Elm is taking a safety save before going to see Ridley, which is a wise safety save to do.
Ridley's probably the biggest RBO run killer, so.
Oh yeah, once Ridley's dead, and you have him, and pretty much over with Norfair, and the run is alive. It's not. You have a run. The run is alive. There's still Dragon who decides the run. If there's a run, or it is dead. You won't die, but Dragons will be one of the run killer.
You certainly don't even consider calling it a run until you get out of Lower Norfair. It's not even just being Ridley. It's still hard to get out of Lower Norfair. There's still a lot of treacherous things coming up.
Yeah, but I still consider that Ridley is the one after Yakin that you can see the run is alive, since it's the place you will mostly see runners die.
So this is interesting. Scotty's going to pick up X-ray scope here. So we're going to see some X-ray climbing for him to get out of Dragon. We're going to see a couple of different strats then for the Dragon fight, which is pretty cool.
I'm really interested by Scotty's route choice. It's really interesting.
almost done with Lower Norfair. Pretty much just has to get through with 3 Musketeers. This is where screw attack is really useful. You can just screw attack right through those key hunters.
Indeed. It's the main reason that you take screw attack is for the one Norfair.
Really, Scotty forgot to get ice, according to chat. Oh, this is the guy that did the 98% run in the any percent tournament, because we still don't know what he actually forgot.
Fell taking out her death, falling into the acid just in the pre-Ridley rooms.
Mm.
But at least he did save before going there, so it's, as you can see, it's a really good safety save to do there.
This guy is gonna go get his ice beam.
Now it's Elminster turns to fight Ridley, so with his amount of super missiles, it will be a pretty good and easy-ish fight, as long as Ridley behave.
Ridley behave? What is that? And Ponk is now done with his heated rooms, so he'll go ahead and pick up his ice beam so he can do Meridia, and the hardest part for him is over. The Meridia part is pretty much technical. Let's get a farm a few extra power bombs here. Elm in his Ridley fight. Ooh.
Oh, too late.
And
he's dead.
Yeah, he's not going to survive this.
No, he can't.
That's a shame.
You really want to keep that reserve tanks.
Yeah, Elm and
when
Farrell
Ridley take you. You don't want to lose it before.
Yeah, Elm and Farrell are very accomplished runners, very good at this, and you can see just how hard it is. And where is Scotty going now?
I don't know. That's why I find it. That's why I find this routing very interesting, because I have no idea what he's doing
you know what?
right now.
I think he's going to get some of the extra safeties in Meridia first. Earl doing his crystal flash before he farms back those supers up. Ponk gonna start his Sulu Spray. Now watch what he does when that thing explodes. It's gonna use that momentum to jump all the way up, get above the fish here, and freeze it enough to land right on it. If you don't get that jump, your choices are to either super missile so the crab falls off, so you can freeze that and get up that way, or you can do a series of wall jumps with the fish on the left side of the wall.
You don't need to use a smart side to make the crab falls. You can freeze the crab and freeze the fish at the right spot so you can jump on it. It's very precise, but doable.
Yeah, the wall jump strat, right?
No, not the wall jump. You freeze the crab, and when the fish passes, you freeze it. It's on the right side, and you jump on it and down grab it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Very precise, but it's doable.
In any case, all that's avoided if you get that first jump up, which Ponk very nicely did.
Oh, Farrell's having one particles going widely. It's really bad in RBO since he can't shoot else.
This is gonna be tight for him again.
Oh yeah. And Ridley seems not behaving like I think Farrell's wants. Yeah, I think Farrell will need to reset. Yeah, Farrell is he was dead at that point.
And Elm's trying his hand at Ridley again.
As you can see, even Farrell was very experimental runners in this game. when something goes wrong with Ridley fights, something goes wrong. That's why you will, after release, I say that the round is alive. As even Zinni will say that also, that after Ridley the round is alive, because
Yep.
this is the place you will die the most often.
And Punk doing his first grapple jump. Basically, what you do is you swing with the grapple beam and morph and unmorph, and it'll take you all the way up. And since they don't have gravity suit, they won't be able to use speed boost or get through. Punk's gonna have to do an ice clip to get to bot wound here. It's one of the easier ice clips of the game. He gets right through it, no problem.
Even a Kezo can do the ice clip pretty much easily, so.
Andrew's kind of low here for bot wound, but he should be fine.
He has more than enough for bot wounds, I think.
This 144 seems so much lower when you have 9 E-tanks than in any percent when you have 3.
True.
Just gotta gain that extra Meridia ammo. No, the answer to Scotty is most certainly not finished up. He's just choosing to take a whole bunch of extra safeties that the other runners aren't taking.
Just to say, I just seeing that Fuzda, aka Andrew, has forfeited from the race, which probably has died too many times or didn't do any safety save in lower Norfair. As you can see, Fuzda also really experimented runners, RBU runners, just so all lower Norfair's main round killers, everything can go wrong really easily.
Yeah, another very good runner that was in the background. Unfortunate that he couldn't finish up. I don't think we mentioned it previously, but also in the background we have Canadian Owl and Monk. So, as usual in the weekly races, it's not just the 4 people that you're seeing here. Okay, Faro going again for his Ridley fight.
There's also Toasty in the background. So.
Now, Toasty just joined. I'm not sure why.
he just joined.
Yeah. Maybe he just wants to spy on SRL. I don't know.
You want to see those juicy comments in SRLs.
Yeah. And Punk in Coliseum, which is a very difficult room, very easily, if you mess this up, fall into that sand, it can be very dangerous. But he does it very nicely. The top of it having very little water, so you can kind of move around if you stay up top as much as possible. You could have just asked Toasty. Wanted to see who else was racing.
Yeah. And Punk taking a safety save before going to Dragoons, which it's a good idea since you can Dragon can still die easily if you don't do the setup correctly. And there's also a grapple escape. If you fail too often, you will die because the grapple escape need one of the turrets' electricity, and it will deal you damage.
There's still a lot that can go wrong with Dragon. You might have noticed that he was damaging himself with the Metroid. That was absolutely on purpose. He's going to damage himself down to the Crystal Flash level. As
you can see, also taking damage from the turrets, which is on purpose also. Since you want to be at 50 energy and less to be able to Crystal Flash.
And this is the strat I referred to before. So basically what he's going to do is he's going to try and get himself grabbed as Dragon as he's doing a Crystal Flash. And somehow, I don't understand how this works, to be honest, but it'll allow him to get a spark suit when he kills Dragon using grapple beam.
Yeah.
And as you know, when I mentioned earlier, I talked about how people find these strategies. There's one that, I mean, who would have thought? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see what happens when Dragon grabs me Crystal Flashing.
The thing which is funny is that if you Crystal Flash and Dragon grab you, so you get a flash shoot, like you said. If you then use it to shine spark and then Dragon grab you, you get a blue suit.
Yep, exactly. And how someone found that out,
It's really interesting all the things you can find.
He's gonna pick up these drops. He's gonna pick up his space jump. Space jump isn't gonna help him right away. So he's gonna use grapple jumping to get out of the Dragon room. And then he'll use the Shine Spark to get out of the previous room. Or the Precious room.
Yeah.
It's got typoed once.
Typo by 80, so shout out to Eternized Dragon, aka Aaron Jaeger. Also, fun fact with the Crystal Flash and Dragon, if you Crystal Flash and Dragon take you frame perfectly as you Crystal Flash, you will stay in the Crystal Flash position. And because of that, you can underflow. That's how low percent charge that can exist, by the way.
Yeah, and very nice grapple jump there from Punk. And uses that Shine Spark. And that'll probably be the difference. Scotty, I suspect, since he picked up X-Ray, he may use a different strategy to kill Dragon. He'll probably still use grapple jumping to get out, but he'll probably use some X-Ray climbing to get out of the Precious room, so to speak.
Elmaster is in Marizia. He had to do the backup you said, using a super missile to get the crab down to be able to jump on the fish. Which is one of the easiest way to do it if you fail the gravity jump with the tube. And now Feral since start in
Feral just Ridley is just not cooperating for Feral today.
No, really not.
And again, Feral being a very good runner, that's just the way it happens sometimes.
And Feral's just forfeited from the race.
That's very unfortunate.
GG to Feral's. As you can see, Ridley in the low Norfair, especially Ridley, is the place where the run will die. It's mainly the place. Even you can see with experimental runners as Feral's, it's still a very dangerous fight. So GG to Feral to put up with this great race.
Absolutely.
It's really not an easy feat to try to do RBO.
RBO is just so unforgiving. The one thing I forget, I may have been Scotty who said this, but I forget. I may be getting this wrong. But the biggest difference we talked earlier about, which is the more difficult category, the burst boss order or the low percent boss, the low percent ice / low percent speed. So one of the differences, all the danger in RBO at the beginning, and so you're going to lose to Ridley, and you're going to lose relatively early in the run. Whereas in the low percent categories, it's at the end. Either Ridley or Mother Brain, where typically if you do low percent ice, you're going to take 200 shots, and that just takes a long time.
Mm-hmm. But at least low percent, you don't have that timers with the Ridley fights, which can really be helpful for you since it's way less stressful. It's a battle
of patience for low percent, because you're right, you don't have that timer, but 200 shots is a lot of shots.
Oh yes, indeed. Like a lot of experimental runners will say with RPOs, the most important thing is don't panic. That's what will kill you.
Yeah,
as you can do with the timers being quickly, you need to be quick. It's pretty much stressful and can panic pretty much easily. If you let the panics kicks in, you will die.
Yeah, and Punk in the meantime has picked up his plasma beam, and going through the Forgotten Highway to the back door of Fantoon.
And Scotty dying with attempting lava dives. As you can see, it's lava dives, no mistake allowed in RBO.
None at all. Elm, meanwhile, getting through Baun. There we go. Okay.
And now Scotty succeeding his lava dive, so one of the hard parts done. And Punk at Phantoms, which will be a really easy fight with Plasma Beam. Will take a maximum of two rounds. I think I know why Scotty did take X-ray by talking about Phantoms since I'm Plasma. He wanted to microwave Phantoms. I'm pretty sure of it.
That would be a thing he could do.
And I saw he did microwave butt wounds also when he went to Maridia. So now it's the Elm's turn to go fight the Dragons. Taking intentional damage on the Metroid, so it can be a good amount of health for the Dragon to be drained himself in the Dragon's room fight, and also taking safety save, which is a wise decision against in an RPU setting for before Dragons and for on the entirety of Lower Norfair. Oh, also draining all of his reserve right away.
Not sure what Elm's writing there in chat.
It's just the standard gibberish. He might have done some mistake, that's why he's writing some gibberish. So Elmessa already spoiling us, Dan's game.
Meanwhile, Punk finishing up his Phantoon fight, making his way out of Rex ship, and he'll head over to Kraid.
So now Blister and Shi on Elminster to get good patterns on Dragons. So now we have Canadian owls in the screens. So him too also have X-ray, but owls I know that he can't do the grapple escape. He's using X-ray to escape precision, so he will use the Shine Spark to get out of Dragon's rooms, and then X-ray climb to be able to get out of the precision. But the X-ray climb is still inbound, so it is allowed. That's the one thing I know about owl. Maybe Scotty is also the same things that he did take X-ray. Maybe he need it to escape prison's room. But I'm more certain it's for the memes and microwaving the boss.
Well, we'll see. He's got a little ways to go. Just finished up his GT fight, getting his refill there. Elm finishing up his Dragon fight.
Elm having a very low health after his Dragon fight.
And shoutouts to Punk for not forgetting to go back down to Kraid. Although that's Farrell's thing, not Punk's thing. Punk's famous for accidentally going to Kraid first in an RBO race.
Oh, Farrell with his 5 elf, I think. No, that's 85 elf. With the ways I was looking, I thought it was a 05. So he had to jump a little to be sure that his Shine Spark would be going up all the way up to the Precious Room to escape.
Oh, getting the backup on the quick kill. Very nicely done by Punk.
Now's the time to also do Lava Dive.
And as expected, Punk does not pick up Various Suit. That's right, Farrell. On the Brights did not forget Kraid.
True, that's true, Farrell. And still, Farrell, GG on your race. It's really harder around to do.
Yeah, thank you for
RBO.
coming out. Thank you for coming out and playing. We don't, we don't get to see enough.
Yeah. And all dying on the lava dive, as you can see, that place is really hard to do. You can't do a single mistake. At least everywhere else you can do some mistake. Lava dive, single mistake is death. That's the one of the hard place.
And one of the reasons is because you're going to continue to lose energy once you get out of the lava. Even if you get it, maybe on your second or third try, whereas normally if that happened, say in a randomizer situation, you'd get out of there and you'd have energy, but you're going to have various suits, and you're still going to be able to continue. In this case, you're just going to continue to lose heat damage. You're not, and one of two things will happen. Either you won't get to the Crystal Flash in time, or you'll get to the Crystal Flash too early, and you won't have enough to get over to GT and get that free refill near Screw Attack.
But if you can do the Crystal Flash after the lava dive, it's never too early because Zenny do it right after he do his lava dive.
Well, Zenny does his own thing. He also uses a pretty neat strat that we didn't get to hear, where he uses the refill of the energy tank to keep himself in spin, getting up the lava. And hopefully, if they do this category again tonight, hopefully he'll participate, so everybody who hasn't seen him before will get to see him play.
As you can see, I'll return to refill his health. If you miss your inputs and you fall into the lava and the spike, it's better to go back, refills, and then continue. You will lose time, but you won't die during lava dive for sure. With his health, he might be okay if it happens at the end, but better take it safe than die at lava dive because it will be a greater time saved to reload. I mean, a greater time lost to reload. So taking that refill against it's saving more time than dying.
Now Punk gets to his G4. He'll get to take a little bit of a break. In fact, looks like we already see what he did, typing a few things in chat there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yes, you did get the boss order, right? Always an important part of this category.
At least,
otherwise, it's just any percent, you know.
Oh yeah, it would be a meme any percent if you did great first.
But it'd be safer, you know. Actually, that would be Toasty Root from we've seen
only if you take
any percent.
Only if you take a Varia, it will be safer.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're gonna kill Kraid first, you might as well take Varia. But we've seen Toasty do that route a couple of times. At least once in the Friday races and during the tournament. In fact, was it you and me commentating that, John?
The what race?
Toasty versus Sloters.
Yes, it was you and me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was the best race ever.
That was a fun race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Zenny's been on Punk to do what Shiny Zenny likes to call big boy route, and now
the big boy
Punk's
route.
getting it from other people. So.
Zenny is also infamous to never let punks. I mean, to always harass punk about doing big boys route also.
But don't worry, they're good friends, so
yeah,
they can tease each other a little bit. So I mentioned this before, one nice thing here for Punk is because he didn't pick up Varia suit, he doesn't have to worry about taking it off to make stand-up glitch easier.
True, and also he will take more damage on the baby if you fail the baby skip. Since only Varia suit is checked for both Rainbow Beams and baby Metroid. Yes, Shabo, a big boy route to the one Norfair visit.
Meanwhile, Elm finishing up his Fantoon. Oh, just starting getting into his Fantoon fight. Owl getting to GT.
And nicely done from Punk, getting that baby skip.
And Scotty is heading towards Ridley.
As you can see, Owl is the drain practically all of his missile, because if you have, I think, 30 and more missile current missiles GT, you will do his claw attack. If you don't, you will do mostly throwing some eggs instead.
Yeah, you want those
that's
eggs
what you
because,
want.
Yeah, you want the eggs because you can get refills out of them. Owl's health not looking great here.
It was good
He looks
enough.
like he's okay now.
Isel was is really okay. He will enter the refills room to refills and then do the setup to exit through attack rooms. And I'm thinking by accident the missiles. There's another person who is also famous for taking it by accident, which his name is Sifi Ekarantinami during a GT Classic run, also taking that missile pack by accident when leaving wrecked ship.
And Punk will be finishing up his 20 shots since he's got the full beam combo. He needs to stay above 7 E-tanks in order for stand-up glitch to work, and he needs to stay above 6.
Now he's at perfect L4.
But he's, yeah, there we go. Very perfect. Oh my god. Calculated.
I know with RPO you don't need to be close to 700. You can be at 800 somethings, and Mother Brains after the first rainbow it will still trigger the part where the baby will attack.
Yes, you still need to be above 7, and he was at 701.
Yeah.
So.
No, you need to be at 7 and more. 7 flush is still
7
alright.
above. Yep. So 701 is exactly what he needed.
Now Scotty is in a Ridley fight. Less RNG for him.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, I'm going to Kraid. Very nice race from Elm.
Yep. Scotty missing 2 super missiles and really not behaving totally like he wanted, I think. No, I think he missed a 3rd. Alright, it's
Ridley. Nicely done.
The worst in Lower Norfair is done.
Still got to get out though.
He can relax more now.
Although I think it's worse to die after Ridley.
Oh, indeed.
And it does happen. It does absolutely happen. So now you say, well, I beat him once, and I got to beat him again.
Get kinetic energy tank pickups at 0.1 energy, so his reserve didn't trigger,
which is nice. Mother Brain turning awfully red. It's like 4 shots for Punk to finish her off. All that's left is is the escape.
And also since in his bunk, we will also see the animals.
Oh, we will definitely see the animals.
Oh yeah. It will not be our punk if we don't see him save the animals.
Meanwhile, Owl getting his Fire Fleet E-tank. So he actually has 1 more E-tank than the most that anybody else has, so that'll make his Ridley fight a little bit easier.
True.
You never know when that 1 extra E-tank can make the difference.
Indeed. With a Ridley fight, every extra tanks is really nice.
And Punk executing that last Moonfall very nicely. Let's see what kind of spark he chooses to do.
And all taking that way safety save before Ridley fight. As you can see, even experimental runners did have a lot of difficulty, so that save is for race settings really wise to take.
Ponk, in the meantime, with a very nice behemoth spark. And we all know he's going to go down to save the animals.
Indeed. You can always count on Punk to save the animals. Doing the objectively wrong choice, but at least, at least he have a noble art.
Well, that and the fact that you've actually saved the animals before now, so you can't call it the objectively wrong choice when you've done it before.
It's still an objectively wrong choice, I still can do the wrong choice from time to time, especially when you and Punks are
yes,
one of the others commentate who save the animals. Oh, I cannot save the animals when you commentate, guys.
And Ponk has finished with an official SRL time of 1:14:40. GG to Ponk.
GG. So now Metroid is in his turn at the G4 rooms, which I like to call it the horizontal bomb jump trainings hall or rooms.
And Elm letting it live up to that name.
Yeah, indeed. He can do his practice of horizontal bomb jump, or if he wanted, he could have relax and write in chats, check his social media, take a little break.
And in the meantime, I think we have Ponk here. How you doing, Ponk?
Hey, ho, I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. That was a really nice run.
Thank you.
Oh yes, was such a quality run from you, Punk.
Thank you.
So, first question, I found it ironic that you mentioned that you meant to pick up the Gauntlet E-Tank, especially after Sloters last night, skipping an E-Tank in a similar fashion.
Yeah, this was the route I took in this race was actually my PB route, the quote-unquote optimal route for double. We didn't mean that. That power bomb skip and the E-Tank skip is nothing I would usually do in races. It thankfully worked out. That Ridley was pretty good, but
that was a very nice Ridley. That's really hard to do in RBO.
It really did behave well for you.
Thank you. I put a lot of time into the minute there, but it worked out well, so that was nice. Really glad that the amount of E-Tanks worked out, but it was also one thing I would just want to mention. I got no health drops from Ridley. That was the first time I got like such a good fight and still had to use my reserves. Just because I got like
noticed that.
Yes, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, unfortunately, a few other people had a little less luck with Ridley. Farrell having to forfeit the race after dying a couple times there.
Yeah, that's
still having a little bit in that fight right now. Yeah, he just.
That was really unfortunate for him.
It's a rough category. Ridley is definitely a roadblock.
Oh yes, indeed. Even the current world record holders, Chinese indeed, do die from time to time. To Ridley. So.
I've seen Zenny die a lot from Ridley.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. It was overall pretty good. Early game was kind of meh. I gotta thank you, John, for jinxing my lava dive there.
I'm sorry, Punk.
I was listening on commentary and we're like, yeah, lava dive is not too hard. He won't die there. The next thing that happens is I see the wall jump failing. I'm like, oh well, John, thank you.
Glad to jinx you. I mean, sorry.
Anything.
Yeah, good for jinxing, I think.
One last thing I want to mention. To all the viewers right now, if you want to learn this category, I currently I have made half of an RBO tutorial for this. I am currently working on the second half, which is pretty extensive. And I personally really love this category and I think it's pretty cool. So if you want to get into this, just like look on my YouTube or like my Twitch page and you will find like a really nice RBO tutorial for this if you want to get into that. Because personally this is my favorite category. So I definitely recommend for everyone interested checking that out and getting into it. The community has been a lot of help, so if you have any questions, just ask. You learn a lot from doing this category, and I think it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just put in the runner follow. So in fact, you should follow all these runners. all excellent runners, all doing all the good stuff for Super Metroid. A couple of these guys are Elm actually still in the tournament for the any percent tournament. So
I think Punk, you also still in any percent tournament.
I did never
No.
join the any percent.
Oh yes, you did never join. Yeah, it's true.
If I'm sure I would still be in if I joined. Nah, in all seriousness, I didn't join, but thanks, John. I appreciate that.
It's just and since I'm no longer in the tournaments myself, I'm just having it out of my mind, so I'm not really following it really anymore.
Also, I don't have the chat open right now, but please follow the commentators. They're doing an excellent job here, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you, Punk.
Yeah, thanks for commentating. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
yeah, see you later, Punk.
And also don't forget to follow all our runners. They did a really good job doing this race.
And it looks like Elm's gonna get done pretty soon. He's just passed his Mother Brain 2 fight, going for stand-up glitch.
And I'm having a little fun with space jump. Doing a stand-up glitch. As a note, there's only 2 times the game check to see if you're touching the ground to force you to kneels. So he's just having some fun with a space jump. Getting in his Ridley fights now. Just a little blesser energy for him.
Ridley looks awfully pink, so you should be able to finish him off with supers.
Yep. Oh. At least have 2 reserved for owls, so.
He's awfully close. Okay, looks like he's okay. Unfortunately, having to pop some of that reserve.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but at least, like I said, he has 2 reserves, so it's still pretty good. And manually refilling, so you don't get health bumps. Having good drop from Ridley, getting some super missiles, which is really good.
Just gonna get to that E-tank. Got him, meanwhile, making his way through Mount Everest with the grapple beam. Which, frankly, is actually, if you're using grapple strats in that room, it's actually a little bit easier to do that without a suit than with a suit.
Just true.
Slower movement.
And also, I really like the slow movement with grapples and suitless. It's really relaxing and fun, I find. At first I did hate the suitless Marisa because I was not used to it and I was doing things too fast. But once you're used to it, it's really fun, suitless Marisa.
Elm, meanwhile, in his escape.
Now, will M do the objectively correct choice or the objectively wrong choice?
Well, I'm going to say he's going to do the wrong choice, but my wrong choice and your wrong choice aren't the same thing.
No, no, really not the same things.
A very nice run from Elm.
And I'm doing the objectively correct choice.
There he goes. And Elm has finished in 2nd place with an official SRL time of 1:23.24. GG to Elm.
Now Scotty's entering his button fight. Will be a pretty trivial fight, especially with the number of health he has. And also, I think he took another 50 saves. Oh, and he did well because the enemies in Norfair each deal 200 points of damage. So.
And we have Elm in here with us. How you doing, Elm?
Not too bad.
Hello, Elm.
Very nice race, second place. A little trouble with Ridley. A little less trouble than poor Farrell, but you know, it happens.
Yeah, he took forever to turn around during one of his pogos, and I had no idea where he was because he was staying in the air so long, so his tail landed right on me.
Yeah, when Ridley want to be a shark, there's nothing you really can do about it. It's the worst category for its weapons.
But other than that, very nice run. In fact, the very beginning, you and Farrell and Ponk were all really close together.
Yep.
I felt really good about my play, early game, and then when I got to early Meridia, it just really fell apart. I fell in Everest trying to get crab supers, and that cost me a ton of time.
Mm-hmm.
And just everything after that was sloppy. I also forgot to safety save before lava dive, so I was really scared.
Yeah.
I also forgot to farm power bombs before lava dive, so that was a problem too.
No mistake allowed in lava dive, so yeah, I can understand it was scary. Also, I've seen your run, since I never really saw you run the RBO. Was it just for safety, the route you took, or is it your normal routing?
That's the route I use in my PB.
Oh.
As far as I know, I have the fastest early Meridia time for RBO.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. I was not sure since, like I said, I never saw you run RBO, so I was not sure if it was for safety or it was your usual route.
Yeah, no, I picked it up for a bit back in January, and I got I pushed for sub 120. I got 118, which was 4th place at the time, and then kind of never went back to it.
That's a really good times.
You gonna go back to it at all? Revisit that at all again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Ponk's been bugging me about it for a long time.
Well, he's good at that.
Did Cindy that also bug you about the RBO?
So it's a bit of a change. Shenny's bugging Ponk about running Shiny's route, Zenny's route, and then he's bugging you about his route. So there we go.
the little vicious circles. Now it's time to Elms to bug someone else.
There you go. Well, one of these days I'll try this route, but I need to get a little better at even just any percent before I do that, or even just hundo. Other things going on. How is the? I know you're in both of the combo rando tournaments. How are those going for you?
They're going really well. So I'm in bracket for the 1v1. I'm kind of behind on scheduling my round of 16, but assuming I'm against Ridley the Monster in round of 16. Assuming I win that, which I'm seed 1, he's seed 16, so I'll probably win. I'll be against Maniacal for again.
Well, I believe you guys are playing each other in the 2v2 stage.
Yeah, that's we'll be doing that tomorrow actually, 6 p.m. Me and Gesellschaft versus Maniacal and Solski. So that'll be my 4th matchup with him, and then the 1v1 again will be my 5th. And
were you not in the same grouping also for the 80% tournament?
No, we're not.
No, how that happened, I don't know. Because you guys have played each other a lot in the last 6 months, so it'll definitely be fun to watch though.
But Gasal and I, well, she's made a ton of progress in SM, so we're gonna be, bigger, better, and stronger than ever for our 2v2 match tomorrow. No pressure or anything.
It'll be a fun watch for sure.
With you as a teammate, I'm pretty sure Giselle will improve pretty much quickly.
Yeah, I saw you guys playing the other night. She was looking pretty good.
She's always looking pretty good. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
I don't know if I know what you mean.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks to you
thank you for stopping by.
And GG against Elms.
Okay, so we got Scotty, meanwhile, in his Dragon fight. Owl making his way up the Main Street area. Scotty saying the bane of his existence, the grapple jump out of Dragon.
Oh. And I don't think he was able to get that flash shoot out of the Dragon, so that's why I think he mainly took X-Ray. So you can do that grapple escape, and then use X-ray to exit the precious room. Unless he was hoping for that flash shoot to escape Dragon's rooms. In this case, I wish all the best luck to you, Scotty. You can do it. I trust it. My trust is in you. You are really good players.
Yeah, Scotty knows what he's doing.
This grapple jump particular is pretty hard to do. Myself, I still don't know how to do it. No, I know how to do, but I still can't do it. Compared to all the other grapple jump, this one is the hardest I find.
Well, and it's also the most dangerous because every time you try it, you only have a certain number of tries because you're going to take damage every time you do it.
True. Yeah, true. Like Punk said, Scotty can Crystal Flash 3 times, so he has plenty of strikes. Oh, and he practically had it. He was just not at the right.
Meanwhile, waiting for the Metroid to unfreeze so he can do the Ice Club. But yeah, one of the advantages of picking up so much extra ammo and items.
That's why in the randomizer I always go take spring balls before doing complete suit test mazes, since I can do the double spring ball jump, I can't do that grapple jump.
Yeah, unfortunately, while I have heard it's doable, but trying to get spring ball without a suit is really difficult.
It is doable. I saw a video from ED to get a spring ball without a suit.
Like I said, I've heard it's doable. We got Elm and Punk trying to help Scotty in chat here.
Yeah, you will need all the help you can from those experimental players.
There's a lot of tricks like that, Elm. I like that comment.
I understand so well.
I understand what you're saying, Elm, but there's a lot of tricks that are really easy if you understand them, and not so easy if you don't.
Yes, it's like a lot of tricks. It's either it clicks and then becomes super free, or it don't click and it's the most stupid art things you will ever try. Oh, really, Elms? I find the Aquatuck Rebel Jump to be one of the easiest one.
I haven't tried either one, so I can't say. But I know there are some things that I find pretty easy that there's
nice job, Scotty.
And Scotty gets it. Nicely done.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, it's gonna give Owl a bit of a chance to catch up a little bit here.
Yep. Now I will need to do a X-ray climbs. I was going to say grapple climb.
Yeah. Hopefully he remembers to turn Morph Ball off to make it a little bit easier or make it a little less likely he'll soft lock in this.
Not to make it easier. If you're not at Taz, it's mostly for force, since if you don't do it correctly, you will soft lock.
Exactly. So hopefully he remembers to turn that off. Oh, good. Chat says, Unchabo, thank you. Apparently he did already turn it off. And Owl about to go into his Dragon fight. See how he decides to do it.
So bless energy for also for getting good patterns on dragons.
Absolutely. He's going to use ammo and charge shots.
Scotty not in the right position, since you want to be. You want to stand once you're stuck in the doors, not being crouch. Else you can't use X-ray.
The idea being here that you crouch and then X-ray forces you to stand up, and then you crouch again, X-ray forces you to stand up, and it will slowly move you up the door.
what you want to do is try to be as slow as possible before doing a wall jump check. So like that, you're mostly guaranteed to be in a standing position.
This race between Scotty and Owl could come down to a.
If Scotty's not used to it, if Scotty's not used to do it, Owl has a good chance. Since I know Owls, he always go for the extreme climb.
Owl's done the X-ray climb.
He's pretty much an expert on it at that point. Oh, thank you for the correction, Punk.
Looks like he's in the. Oh, I thought he was in the door. Oh, going for the grapple jump? He only gets one crystal flash shot if he has too much trouble with this.
You can do it, Owls.
Oh, almost had it.
Now Owls did get it, his grapple jump pretty quickly. I think from this point, Owls will have the lead since he's really used to do that setup.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to who gets this X-ray climb first.
Come on, guys, you both can do it.
Everybody give them their, God bless that RNG.
Also, one thing you want to do when you're stuck in that door is that you don't want to turn right without using X-ray. It can be pretty much risky doing it, as Owl is doing it.
Oh, there we go. Owl's got it going.
But Owl's pretty much used to it, so he knows what he's doing. Nice one, Elm.
Owl cheats, he can fly, okay.
And with his spoon.
It's not gonna look like he's moving up, but he is actually moving up into the next room.
It's just that while doing it, the scroll, the screen do not scroll, so you're out of scroll and not out of bounds. That's why it is allowed, since you're still in bounds.
Yeah, I don't know how long the Crystal Flash strat has been around, but I do believe this is the older strat for RBO. Perhaps Elm or Punk can shed some light on that. It's how long that Crystal Flash strat has been around.
And there's Owls getting out, so Owls is now definitely in the lead compared to Scotty. His experience with X-ray climb here is really showing up against Scotty there. And also taking another safety save, since if he fall into the sand pit.
No, I don't think he's saving. I think he's just doing a refill. We'll see if he chooses to save. But at this point, I don't think he needs it.
No, he don't really need it, but it's still a good...
But he still takes it. Never a bad idea.
No, since if you fall in the sand pit, it can be hard, and if you touch the spike, it's pretty much over. You can still technically get out, but it's really hard.
Yeah, if you fall into that sand, it is very difficult to get out without gravity suit. Does he have it? Oh, thank you, Inchabo. It says apparently 2002 forums had the Dragon escape with Crystal Flash, combined with having Dragon drop you off the top platform. So they use the Crystal Flash, but not the grapple jump. Thank you.
As you can see, what
I
Scott
always
is
like
doing
to-
is pretty much the safe version to grapple, not grapple, to extra climb until you are sure you have both wall on both sides. It's slower but really safe.
Yeah, I always like to learn the history that came before me. I'm still relatively new to the community here.
Me too. I love to know the history of the community. It's always interesting to know what they did in the past.
It's like Scotty's gonna get out. Getting close.
Also, you can see where he is with the mini-map, so it's also an indicator of where he is, which is always helpful. So it's the thing you can see that, oh, he is really going up with the mini-map.
Yeah, the mini map is super useful here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Owl's gonna get his plasma beam and head through the Forgotten Highway back towards Wreck Ship.
Getting the second best beam in the games. The first, which is a wave beam. I hope he didn't jump at the wrong place for Scotty, else he is soft luck.
Then you have to go back to the Dragon fight.
Yeah. Because if you're stuck in the walls and you did you jump, Scotty? If you jump, you can't use X-ray, and you're stuck in a crouch position, so you're soft lock. You have to reset.
Yeah, looks like he has to reset.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really too bad.
Scotty forfeiting from the race. GG, Scotty, you did really great all the way through. It's really sad that you have to forfeit.
Yeah, it's too
GG,
bad.
Scotty.
Gets through the hard stuff of Lower Norfair and then gets tripped up by X-ray climb. So we'll just have to see what Owl can do to finish this up. So we didn't really get a chance to touch on Forgotten Highway. We talk about it a little bit now. So in the original playthrough of the game pretty much expects you to get that Wreck Ship E-Tank after you get Gravity Suit, which leads you straight over to this highway that takes you back down to Meridia. But since there's no items until you get to the tube that you have to blow up, no one uses it. It's a much more out of the way. It doesn't make a lot of sense to this direction.
It's used in RPU because it's faster. Since you're taking plasma, you have foreign highways right near you which has no waters, so you don't have to move all through that waters be fast. Because the only other option is to go down Red Tower to then go up Red Tower, since you won't really, I think, be able to go up Red Towers.
It is a little bit faster, especially since you're picking up the plasma. So typically you'll see it in reverse box. You'll sometimes see it in randomizer. You don't see it much of anywhere else. Now, the nice thing about going the back way is that Spiky Death Room is free because the spikes don't activate until you kill Phantom.
You can see that with the rocket ship and missile location, the main shaft. You can take the missile back in on those and before killing Phantoms, and nothing is working. There's no spike platform, and the spike are activated like in the Spiky Rune of Death. It's really interesting, the mechanics, to see that.
It is interesting though that you can pick up those missiles, but you can't pick up the item, the E-Tank item.
I'm sure
Of course, at vanilla would be an E-tank, but if you were playing a rando, it would be something potentially cool, and you can't pick it up.
Yeah, I think it's nice microwave there from out. I think it's because since they thought you can't go there before killing Phantoms on the other place, they didn't put the items in the off state.
Yeah, that's
compared to the missiles in the shaft.
Yeah, Owl doing the very nice microwave of Phantoon. Doing the microwave on Phantoon is a little bit different. You do have to shoot him with a missile to get him to keep that eye open, and then when he comes back around on the Doppler, that's where you want to microwave him. You get a very nice one round.
As you can see, not taking the super missiles at the Phantoms. No need for them. Would be too slow to take them.
He's got plenty of super missiles at this point. Oh, he's gonna go for the spark here. Gets it very nicely. And he'll head down to Kraid. So shout outs to everybody finishing doing well, assuming he does go down to Kraid. Shout outs to I was about to say shout outs to everybody doing the correct boss order, but
I think Owls has forgot about Kraid.
Owl?
He's doing the Kraid skip.
Kraid, Owl?
He's doing what Ferrell did, skipping Kraid.
Okay, I should keep my mouth shut and see what his reaction is. Well, he was in chat before. How is he not?
Yeah, he's listening to us too.
Owl. See, it's not very funny if you do it on purpose. It's only funny if you do it by accident.
True. Entering with a bum jump. Shout out to Ferrell.
Shout out for doing the cutscene twice. yeah, Ferrell. Because he's the one that did it the first time. Owl, yeah, go get Kraid. Go kill Kraid, please. Go kill Kraid.
What is he doing? I think Owls wanted to be a little too much.
For a moment there, I thought he was going to X-ray climb into that, but that would not quite be legal in this category.
No, it will be else.
That'd be a forfeit. And I don't know, the 11 screen X-ray client is one of the, as much as I love watching Ponk and I've seen Blue Plasma Spark do it, the full reverse boss order, the reverse boss mini boss order where you start with Mother Brain first, that 11 screen X-ray climb is pretty darn boring for everybody. So.
10-minute climbs. And also, Kirito, just to say, reverse boss order is only about the main boss, not the mini boss. You can kill the mini boss at the other if you want.
Yeah,
RBMPO, which is reverse boss mini boss orders, include the mini boss, and also like what Tracy said, also include Mother Brain first. So.
We have one call out to not kill Kraid, but that would mean a forfeit by Owl. We don't want that.
No.
He's gone past the hard stuff. You can't forfeit over Kraid.
Oh no, forfeit over Kraid would be a disappointment.
Although he does have soft lock capability. If you're not careful with that full charge with the Ice Wave Plasma combo, you can actually get the so-called zombie Kraid.
Yeah, the thing with zombie Kraid is that Kraid will open his mouth once when he's dead, when he's erased, and after that will never open his mouth again. That's the soft lock potentials. So if you want to deal any point of damage when he's dead, when he opens his mouth. So lorsque ami Alice is going into the hallways where you will see mini crates who will be dispatched pretty much easily, and then fighting crates. Pretty sure we'll do the traditional quick kills, which is the safest way to kill crate. You can try to do the charge shot method first and then one missiles, but I think it would be better the traditional way. No, he did try to get the charge
No,
method and the
no.
missiles, but since Cray has 1000 health point, this combo only did 900, so it was not a zombie crate. Oh, and I was taking a safety.
Nope, he's just taking a look at it.
You just wanted to debate at us.
Just wanted to say, hi Varia, I don't need you. Goodbye.
Owls, a great memers. Be sure to follow all the runners, guys.
Here, let me go ahead and put in. Is that right? I hope I have that right. Get Feral in there too.
Yep.
They're all really great follows. I follow all of them.
No, I don't
well as Black
even. I have it right. It's spelled SR.
Oh, is he Feral SR? Do I add
Yes,
SR?
spelled SR.
Okay. Okay, I hope I got it right that time.
Yeah, it's the right one.
So this time, Owl will go to G4 real. Having a little trouble with the old Hellway.
Yeah, the thing with those spikes that they do not ignore screw attack iframe, so it's pretty hard when doing a spin jump to get the deboost, because you will need to break spin before.
And you don't want to go the typical any % route, because then you'd have to climb up Main Street again. No one wants to do that
True.
without a suit.
Will be pretty slow to do it.
Okay, now he'll run past the ship. He's got more than enough ammo. He's got more than enough ammo.
Yes, everything he needs for completing this fight now with Mother Rings.
But for some reason, he thinks he needs more.
No, I think he wants to get that.
He wants to get that swag
speed,
jump into the wall.
He wants just to show off speed balls. What a show off, Al.
Now, fortunately, there's nothing else on Speed Gaming 4 till 7 o'clock, so he's got time. Speaking of which, while he's on the cutscene, let me run down what is in the any percent route. So rumor has it they're going to do another RBO race after we're at the 11 o'clock Eastern time hour. We also have a ton of any percent races going on. There looks like several have just been scheduled. 8 o'clock we have Bro Battalion versus Leodox. And then tomorrow we have at 10 a.m. between Jack 879 versus Nutella Forever. At 3 o'clock we have two races, a four-way race. One's a pre-round of 32 between Nighty 93 and Galen 83. The other being a round of 32 race between Gal, Mons, and Newman. At 8 o'clock there is a race between Ivan and Azulino, TO3, and I apologize, I still don't know how to say that name. On September 2nd, so on Sunday, we have at 1:30 Caznode versus Elminster RTA, so our friend Elm, who we saw today. At 5 o'clock, we have Shiny Zenny versus Krauser 318. And then the last race we have scheduled at the moment is Balthazar versus Z Music on September 4th at 8 o'clock Eastern time. But as always, there's plenty matches still to be scheduled, so keep an eye on those things.
I was getting really good Metroid during so far. Without a suit can be a little more awkward without a suit and super attack, since you can't really go into the acid to do the fast track like in Undo, since you will be slowed down. So it's a little different of what you will normally do.
See if Owl can get his baby skip. And he does not.
Yeah. I was facing the wrong direction, losing 40 frames. You always want to face right to save 40 frames. It's nearly a second save, so it's pretty much important. But also Memer, so I hope you will go save the annuals also. Oh, taking a safety save. Not a bad idea, since things can go around pretty quickly without you knowing when Mother Brains want to be super aggressive.
With his ammo and his energy, he's probably not in for too dangerous a fight, but you never know what can happen, so it doesn't hurt to take that save. The last save he had, I think, was right after Dragon, and that would be quite the backtrack.
Yeah, true. And nice speed skip from Als. That skip is one of the hardest one you can do.
And it's nice to be able to get it, because then you don't have to turn off screw attack.
True. Else you have to do that on back if you want to skip screw attack, which I personally found is way easier than the speed skip. But also you say with his health, but the thing is that since you don't have various suit, you seem to have a lot of health, but remember you need to have 601 energy to survive Mother Brain's Rainbow Beams. So you might have a good amount of health, but still without various suit, it is not that much health he has in backup.
601 to survive, 701 to do stand-up glitch, and I know he'll want to do stand-up glitch. It's still the same 20 shots here.
So far, my brain being pretty passive. You know, that will not be that hard of a fight. Sometimes she can be really aggressive. So having the damage set the right amount to be able to do stand-up glitch. won't even need to damage himself further. As you can see, when Mother Brains do their purple miss, it means that the cutscene with the baby will happen. Without a suit is pretty weird. You can be really high health like he is. That's always impressed me to see how high of health-wise you can be for initiating the cutscene.
See how many shots he'll take when he gets to his Mother Brain 3.
Ultimately, you want to the most number of shots you want to enter is I think 40 shots with his beam combos, which will deal all the damage you need to make Mother Brains at 0 HP. So you will only need like 1 shot of whatever's to bring Mother Brains to be dead.
2 shots, nicely done.
A really good stand-up glitch.
Well,
It might seem I was continue to shoot over and over and again. I think he wanted to do the John Luck.
But I will point out the fact that he has had more E-tanks in this case to do get more shots off as the baby refills him.
So all in the escape pretty much standards. Are we in the Leo's room that even falling's down? Oh, alright, he did get the most important moonfalls. So his round is still valid.
I don't know about the most important, but it is the last one of the game.
That's why it's the most important.
Oh, there you go. Going for the standard right side shine spark.
I was expecting a left side behemoth spark.
Yeah, I actually was kind of expecting that too, but maybe he's just ready to be done.
Please, all for the meme, save the animals. Ah, for 4 imps, the object's the wrong choice since it's not for the memes.
Of course, it's the wrong choice.
Oh, what he's doing?
Uh-oh, what are you doing, Owl? Oh, he was pretending to go back. Yeah. Oh, maybe he's gonna go for the speed echoes?
No, you will go to the animals by breaking the block with the speed balls.
It was a nice ball. Yeah, but is he actually gonna go to the animals?
I hope yes. Nope. Or maybe. No, he just wanted to wrap around. What a beamer. Oh, he did went in. Owls, I'm proud of you.
Animals, nicely done.
Doing the right choice in terms of memes.
Always the right choice. Memes or no memes.
You know, it's only the right choice if you memes. True big irony, true.
And there he goes, with an official SRL time of 2:03:26. GG to Canadian Owl. So that's gonna pretty much be it for us. I'll remind you of maybe I'll run down that any percent. Remind you again that we have all those any percent matches coming up, and we have the 11 o'clock weekly race, which rumor has it is also going to be RBO. I'm looking forward to watching that because we'll see a little bit of shiny Zenny action to see that other route that comes up. Also tonight we have that 8 o'clock race between Row Battalion and Leodox in the any percent tournament. And then tomorrow again we have races at 10 o'clock, 2 races at 3 o'clock, and a race at 8 o'clock. All in the 3 round of 32s and a pre-round of 32 race, all in the any percent tournament. So please be sure to tune in for all of those. Those should be really great races as we get further along in the brackets of the tournament. It's just going to keep getting better and better. And yeah, so a more big thank you to all of you in chat. A big thank you to all the runners, especially those that were restreamed. Thank you to Ponk, Elminster, Canadian Owl, Farrell, who unfortunately had to forfeit, but still looked really great running a race, and Scotty McBody or Scotty Morphball also running a very good race before having to forfeit. Thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting this every week, and thank you to Black Elite John for joining me on commentary.
And thank you to you two for commentating this match. So
we'll just let the credits run out, and then that'll be it.
Yep.
And as I always like to say, at the end, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may, good evening or good night, wherever you may be.
So, thank you everybody for tuning in with this great race. Thanks for all the runners, like Tracy said. It's really we really appreciate it when all of you come in like that. And like always, we will see you for the next mission.